All right, I think we're live. Hey, everybody. This is Ian Jennings. I am the founder of TestDriver, and today we are going to test the TestDriver VSCode extension with TestDriver. So just starting off, what is TestDriver? TestDriver is an AI QA agent, so it's like a computer use agent that can test pretty much any app using computer vision models. So it actually works like a computer use model where you can it can see what's on the screen, it can interact using the mouse and keyboard, and that means you can test all kinds of stuff. So not only VS Code extensions, but desktop apps, Chrome extensions, the whole web, all those things working together. And yeah, so we've got a new VS Code extension coming out soon, and we need some tests for it. And so Mike, our success guy, suggested, why don't we use TestDriver to do it? Put it to the test, and so here I am going to do it live. So let's get to it. First, let's take a look at the extension. So what I'll do is I'll close this out. So here's the extension. You can see it here. This is actually our internal test suite. So we have got a bunch of TestDriver tests here. Each TestDriver test is like a YAML file. So you can look at, like, let's say, hover over an image, right? So hover over the shopping cart icon in the top right corner and then assert the cart is empty. So we can just start by running this. Click the play button. What will happen is we will get a sandbox VM. So this is new in V6. It's essentially a Windows VM. So it pops up there. And as we connect to it, we'll start to run this test. So it looks like maybe we've already got a little problem here. Explains why we need tests. Let's just stop this and try running again, see if we can get that connection better. So sometimes what happens is we're missing the VNC connection. Again, a lot of this is new in beta, but it is awesome as it works. Let's see, this one looks like it did connect. There we go. So what's going on here first is we're going to launch our, so this is actually, again, this is a demo of the TestDriver VS Code extension. What's happening is we're running this hover image file. The first thing that's happening is we're running this lifecycle file. So this is how do you provision this machine to contain what you want, right? And so what we want here is first is to install Chrome for testing and then launch our test sandbox. So like our test web page. So you can see Chrome for testing was just installed. And now we are launching essentially the sandbox. The AI is waiting until the URL is visible. That's why it knows it's ready. And now we're going to start the recording process and start to begin testing. So first thing it's going to do is hover over the username field. There it goes. And it will click. There you go. And if we click over this, we can see that the extension is marking these steps as done. So see how that check mark popped up? You can see that as the steps complete, that they're being marked as green. When the whole test completes, it will be marked as green as well. We can see the output down here. And of course, we can see the execution happening here. So signs in. We're going to click sign in. Now we're signed in. And we're here within this little fake e-commerce site we have. I can make this bigger just to center it within the replay. Cool. And so this kind of, you can see this overlay here protects me from interacting with it, but I could click through and kind of disrupt this test if I wanted to. Let's see. So the AI clicks on the shopping cart icon, add some items to your cart to continue shopping. I think that's it, yeah. So essentially it is assert the cart is empty, so that worked. You can see that down here in the logs, assert the cart is empty. We're stopping dashcam. Now, just quickly going into this test was created by writing these prompts. So these commands act as like a cache so that the AI does the same thing every time. But creating the test is really as simple as just typing in, this one looks like prompt. Let's see if we have a prompt only behavior. Edge cases. It's kind of just, do we not have a test that is only prompts? Oh, here it is. So if you were just to be like enter valid username, password, sign in, that's all you need. And when you run the test, it fills in the rest of the pieces there. So it's agentic AI test creation, AI running. There's replays, there's logs, there's everything you need. And we can actually deploy this to CI/CD. So we can actually use the same terminal command to essentially run that test in CI. And that's how we do our acceptance tests actually for TestDriver. So if we go into TestDriver.ai, CLI, you can see here that we actually have that same hover text or hover image test running. And you can see the same output. So again, we run it in CI, and this allows us to quickly build and test any kind of app or website. There's no selector, so you're not worrying about the app changing. If the HTML changes, if the code changes, doesn't matter. TestDriver can still adapt to it. If you change the framework, you change the themes, change the colors, none of that matters. Just keeps testing it because while we're in the code base, we're not linked to the code base. We're not looking at the underlying code. And it's really great for if you're rapidly using AI to generate tests, like maybe you're doing vibe coding, or let's say you don't have control over the HTML, like let's say you're based on Shopify, but you still want to have tests. So TestDriver is awesome. Been working on this for more than 5 years now. And you might say, well, AI is not 5 years old, but we actually started with a lot of these infrastructure components. AI came out, and then we built this whole thing. So yeah, super excited. Again, this is our V6. We are, it's in beta and basically releasing as we speak. And the VS Code extension is following close. So back to the main goal here, we want to essentially test the VS Code extension, right? And so you might say, how do you do that? Are you going to use Playwright or something like that? Oh, look, we got somebody here from India. Hey, Longo. Cool. So how do we test the VS Code extension? Right. We want to. What's funny here is we actually want to test this behavior. And I actually have not practiced this. I don't have the answers yet. So this is going to be a real live stream. Do it live. The first thing I know we want to do is provision the machine. So you might have noticed when I ran that hover text, what happens is we run this file. Well, this one runs a pre-run, but there is a provision file under lifecycle, and this will essentially tell, like, every time there's a new machine given to you, what happens to that machine. So let's get started with that. I'm going to actually make a new repo. So let me make a new window. And then we will go to development, and then we will make dir VS Code live stream. And VS Code live stream. Cool. And I will do get init. Great. And then we will do code period, close this out. And now we are almost ready to go. So I can actually close this out. What I will do is go to the docs. And we're going to want to get, actually I'll go to the repo, because what we're going to want to do is get an example to work with. So what happens is there's a special folder called TestDriver, and that contains all your TestDriver files. Within that folder, there's another special folder called Lifecycle. And this is where we will put the provision.yaml. And then what we want to do here is create a TestDriver YAML. Now, if part of your provisioning was all UI based, you would essentially now go and tell the AI what to do through prompts. We're actually here doing a more technical stream where we're going to show you how do you provision our VM to contain the VS Code extension, something that's a little more difficult. We can't exactly tell the AI what to do. We could actually use AI to generate this prompt, generate the scripts that we'll need, but this step does not use our interactive agent to provision the machine. So now what we're going to do is go and get an example. So TestDriver examples, and then we can look at, this is my favorite one, which is running Doom. So this provision YAML, what it does is that this actually downloads Doom and then runs it within our virtual machine. It's pretty fun. And then you can have AI play Doom. I did this specifically so we can list in can it run Doom. Can it run Doom? Anyway, So we're just going to copy this format, paste it here, boom. We don't need the session. And we're just going to rename some of this stuff. So it can be download and install VSCode. And that's it. So what we're looking at here is actually a PowerShell script. So the first thing we need to do for this machine is, actually what I'll do is I'll just say, we'll just do like a very basic hello world. So our lifecycle provision, and then we'll run it. Boom. And what this will do is essentially give us a sandbox and just echo downloading, installing Visual Code, basically hello world. And in the meantime, I'm going to say to ChatGPT, please write me a script, a PowerShell script to download and install VS Code. Prefer to use CLI tools if... I guess it's already going to do that already. So there we go. Okay, so we can see here that we've run that command on the VM. And that's it. So it's going to exit, test passes. Great. So here we go. We have this PowerShell script. I could have actually done this within GitHub. Maybe I'll just do that instead because that's a little more probably accurate of what people would do. Go into here. Boom, PowerShell script. And of course, we want to indent it. Close this out. I'll probably shut out this. Well, I can keep this browser open. Close that out. See what AI generated for us. So we have download code Visual Studio build stable, VS Code setup exe, download VS Code installer, complete, and then we want to start process. And there's something very important about this. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Which is within this, make sure that the PowerShell script always returns. So we may need to open VS Code as a background process. So our test framework waits for this PowerShell script to resolve. A lot of times when you launch Chrome as an app, the execution actually never resolves. And so what we do here is, here we're actually, so the AI, I guess, assumes it already happens. Oh, see code dash window style hidden run script background blocking the script execution. Yeah. I'm not sure if window style hidden will hide the window, which I wouldn't want. Does window style hidden hide the VS Code window? Because we do want to show it because the AI needs to see it. Will it hide the VS Code hidden, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it already runs as a background process. That's what we found. Cool. I like when it's explicit too. And then let's also ask it, how big is the VS Code exe? Because that's another problem. Potential problem. 8 to 100 meg in size. That should work pretty well. Now, what I'm going to show you here is actually, rather than using the extension to launch this, we're going to use a CLI. And the reason we're going to use the CLI is because the CLI allows us to add additional parameters. So we'll use npx TestDriver.ai app beta run TestDriver lifecycle provision. And this will actually open the replay within the browser instead of VS Code. It'll open, ideally, hopefully this is, there's like a primary browser. I've got another one up there, so hopefully this will do it in the right spot. Oh, I haven't got my API key set up. So I will need to do that without revealing it to everybody. What I will do is move it into my top monitor. I will move this into my top monitor. And I will just very quickly get my API key and put it in my environment file. So what I'm doing is I'm making I can actually show you this part. So making a new file called .env, and it's td API key equals my key. And so I'm logging into TestDriver and I'm using Google OAuth. And now I'm going to copy my key. So I've got my key. I'll put that in there. Okay. Now, run it again. And close this tab. Okay, there, it worked great. You can see the VM set up here. And now it may look stalled, but what's happening is we are actually running that script. So it's downloading VS Code, about 80 meg. And we can actually interact with this VM. So this is using no VNC. And where are we downloading it to? Temp VS Code. Well, we can sit here and wait and just hope that it completes. Something else we can do is like look at the download manager. I'm not exactly sure personally where env temp is. Can I do this here? Env temp. How about, how can I verify? Oh, looks like it worked. I just saw something blink or something. Did it work? Are we launching? Let's see. We can look at the network activity. That would show us it downloading as well. Activity monitor. No, it's called performance monitor. I'll do task manager. There are no running apps. A bunch of CPU. So there we go. We can see that we are maximizing our download at 10 megabytes per second. Just have to wait for this to download. Oh, it looks like that finished. So now we should probably be loading it. There we go. So that loading bar shows that we are probably installing it. And again, this something I'd love to add is streaming PowerShell logs, but currently we are kind of synchronous on these. I'd assume VS Code would launch. Starting VS Code, start this file path code. Let's see. Oh, we can look at processes. Yeah, there it goes. Cool. So there we go. We got VS Code on this machine provisioned, and you might go, well, dang, that's a lot to wait every time. But what happens is we actually will, if anything happens to this session, it will reconnect back to this machine unless you do -- new. So you're given a persistent connection, and that way you can work through these provisioning steps locally when you're trying to build your own, and you don't have to worry about essentially doing this every time. Now, when you go into CI, we will provision you. You want to do 20 parallel instances. Yes, of course, these will be provisioned each time. Okay, it looks like something timed out. Okay, so the PowerShell script does have a timeout. It's actually a really good example to talk about reconnecting. So the PowerShell script has a timeout. We need to add timeout. How long was that? 5 minutes max, which is how many seconds? 6 times 5 is what, 30,000 milliseconds? And now what we can do here, if we run this provision again, you'll see that it will open a new tab, right? And we're going to get that same machine. So VS Code's already here. Cool. We don't need to do that again. Alrighty. So we got really far really fast. So how long have we even been streaming for? Minutes? 20 minutes? Cool. Now, next thing we want to do is get the test driver extension. Now, actually what I should have done is done this in the test driver repo, because we want to build the extension from VSIX, right? So we want to test in dev, right? We don't want to test in prod. So actually what I should do here is open up the test driver VS Code extension repo, and then we will kind of move it over. So we're going to take that lifecycle provision file, and we'll put it there. And then we're going to make a new folder Actually, no, we still need this. We need a new step. And the step that we needs to install the VSIX file. And in order to install the VSIX file, we need to download it onto this machine. And to download it on that machine, we need to upload it somewhere. So I'm kind of just thinking out loud how we're going to do this. Where would be a good place to upload it locally? I suppose, we actually already upload it within TestDriver.ai VSCode as a release. So the VSIX is here. And this is what we'll use to do our testing as well. And of course, we would want to, when we're in dev, we'll probably want to do this within the PR, not within major release, but hey, we got to copy the VSIX. That's all we need for right now. We'll complete that at the end of the stream. So if I open this in a new tab, does it just trigger the download? Yeah, cool. So we can just copy this link. And we will go into ChatGPT or what everyone calls Claude Sonnet with Copilot, and we will say, first what I want to do is make a new exec command to modify this script rather than launching code immediately. Make 2 more steps. The first should download the VSIX from here. The second, make 2 more exec steps. The second should install the VSIX when launching code. So if you don't know, VSCode has a parameter to launch with extension. VSCLI. Cool. And what I'm going to do here is instead of running this again, all of it, let's keep it all because we already have VS Code on here. I'm just going to comment this out. And then we'll just run that again. And it's in the same, even though we're in a different folder, it's in the same thing. And we should basically now simply, the key's missing again. Okay. Since we changed, folders, my environment changed, and thus the key changed. And so let's get that key again. Team, copy, paste. Okay, close that environment file up, bring it back, and let's do it again. Make sure I keep restream up. Cool. Okay, we are connecting. Looks like that sandbox may have gone offline, so what we'll do is we'll do new, and that will get us a new one. Oh, but this one will not run we'll need to download and install VS Code. So hey, we'll do it again. We'll start our test over, downloading and installing VS Code. So what happens if you don't use the sandbox for a few minutes, it will actually disconnect and kill the sandbox. So we probably didn't send a command to it in time. Or we're just having some trouble connecting here. Let's see. Try one more time. There we go. Oh, no, well, same Same status. Let's see if we pop it up. It can take a minute sometimes to start with these sandboxes. So let's see. In the meantime, I'm going to check on the status myself on my second screen to see what's going on. See. Alrighty, we got one. Just a little bit of a delay. And so there we go. We're downloading VSCode again. And why don't we pop that task manager up? Now we're timing out. That timeout's actually slower than I believe. Is that the right number of seconds? Hopefully it is. See that Ethernet activity there. I'll grab a notebook really fast. Let's see what's going on. Oh, how did we? Oh, we used the new tag again, and so now we're making another new sandbox and maybe facing the same issues. Let's see. The other thing we might be able to do is this, which to use the old one that was working. Let's see if that works. No, let's make a new one. So what's happened here is we keep sandboxes hot, and we actually have a limited pool of those for your team. So I've managed to use 4 new sandboxes in the last few minutes. There's no more hot sandboxes, and therefore we need to wait for the creation of a new one. This is also what happens in CI. So this takes about 2 minutes for a new sandbox to be made. And you can see what this looks like within our acceptance tests. So we've got our acceptance tests. You can see here as well, these acceptance tests running. Looks like most of them have been canceled, but as they run, these are all missing keys. Let's see, actions. I can kind of show you some past ones. Let's look at this is a fun one, drag and drop. So this test takes 6 minutes, but the first part is actually spawning a sandbox. So most of the time is spent building and provisioning these. And you might go, why does it take 4 minutes? But actually that's very quick for Windows. So we did start with Linux support in v5, which was faster, but we found that most people wanted to represent real, the majority user experience, which is Windows. And so we switched to Windows, but Windows has a lot slower startup time. Can be anywhere from 2 minutes to 6 minutes, 8 minutes. So what we do is we have that pool of hot VMs that allows you to have that nice experience you saw in the beginning where essentially it spins up very quickly. And also as we talk, there are actually more spinning up too. So in the future, we'll have them faster. But for now, we're waiting for this new box. I have a status up here where I can see the runners as well. let's see. In the meantime, we can look at the docs as well. So quick start. Some of the performance of the individual commands. Oh, let me pop up restream to make sure there's no more comments. See, cool. So I can see that there are some unclaimed boxes that, are they ready to get, seem ready? So we can do that. We can do new, and that should get us a sandbox fairly quick since there's some ready to go. Yeah, there we go. So that got us one. Try to show you some fun. Looks like we're having the connection latency again, but this will all go away with time. Let's see. I'm curious how people test VS Code now. I think you can use Playwright, but I don't really think it would do what you need it to. Especially if you want to interact with the OS and upload files and things. I'm really curious how people accomplish this. Let's take a look at that drag and drop. It's a pretty fun demo. So every time you run a test, even if it's headless, you can actually see the replay here. So we use Dashcam, which is actually one of the first products we built, to record the test, and you can watch it back now. This one's pretty fun. This one will right-click, make a new file, and then drags it to the trash. We missed the fun drag and drop part. So there, boom. Oh, there we go. We got a new VM. Now we're going to run the. Let us run our download. Again, we will open up Task Manager. Computer's booting, seems like. It's a little slow as it boots. Task Manager. You can see here, see that Ethernet goes. So yeah, we are starting that script. You can see we're downloading that script. And we're just going to wait for it to finish downloading. Getting 6 megabytes per second. I think VS Code Copilot agent said it was what, 100 megs or something. So should be less. Should be about a minute. Maybe I should practice my times tables while we're waiting. What'll be fun is if this works, we actually will have a TestDriver launch. So let's see. So another question is, you can see this is an Amazon EC2 instance. These are actually C5 2XL. So these have, I don't know if it shows it here. These have essentially the specs of a normal computer. So they have, I think, 16 gigs of RAM and 4 CPUs. They're quite powerful compared to most test machines, right? So a lot of times you think of testing as like these headless browsers, et cetera. And the way we see testing is that the user's got to, you got to test what the user actually can do, right? And so that might include installing VS Code, installing Docker, opening up a browser, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what most of our customers actually want to do too, are these like very powerful kind of representations of user stuff. And yeah, so you got access to these powerful VMs. And we charge essentially per parallel VM. So it's how many of these do you want in parallel? You want just one? It's pretty cheap. If you want 4 of them, 8 of them, 16, we can do that for you. We can also make them even more powerful if you want. We have some customers doing that. So for example, if you want to do something like install WSL on this or nested virtualization or a mobile emulator, we can do that as well. And you can actually test mobile. So I would expect this to execute and be done. although downloading may include verifying the files. Let's see. Download. Invoke web request to temp. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. So it downloaded, it opened. You know what? I saved this file here, but I never navigated to my other directory. So we're not even actually running this single file. We're running the old version. So let me make sure that I kill this. I will take away the new. I'll make sure we're in TestDriver VSCode extension. And then I'll run it there. And this will actually download the VSIX. Oh, what have I done here? Okay. Boom, boom. So this will connect us to this recent sandbox. So you can see here it's using the recent sandbox. It'll open up the tab again. And then we will be given, we can download that VSIX file, etc. I wonder if what's happening is I'm disconnected here. Let's see. We may need to do new again, get a new sandbox, and ideally this will go fast. We'll download it again. Let's see. Connecting, yeah, we got a new one. It will download. We want to uncomment this. And latency, of course, with live streaming, always interesting. So it looks like we got 2 more instances ready. So my take on what's happening is something we're doing may be crashing the server, so it's getting hard to reconnect to it, although we have seen it work. So I wonder if we're just like maybe calling too many, essentially too many downloads, or the download is blocking essentially the machine from responding. Let's try this one more time. May have to try this again after debugging what's happening on these machines, but let's just do it for now. Create a new sandbox, cool. Let's wait it out. See if we can do some. Oh, clicked on the wrong thing. Let's see. Kind of take a look at some more tests. Let's see. This is a fun one as well. This is scroll until text. So kind of showcasing how you can scroll until something's found. Oh, this isn't it. Maybe it's scroll until image? Scroll keyboard, is that the one? I think that's the one. Scroll keyboard. Okay, so it's a hamster dance. So the first thing is navigate to web hamster, and then to hover the text. And I think we want to scroll down, yeah, until it's out of view. And then we kind of assert the hamster dance does not show up. Okay, cool. Here's that virtual machine. And the installer has run, and I apologize for this latency. I'm not sure. I honestly can't tell you. Oh. Has that change not gone out? So we did make a change to upgrade the performance of these, and it just seems like that hasn't gone out. Yeah. Okay, cool. That would make a lot of sense why this is struggling a little bit. Well, let's do what we can with this. And I may do a part 2 here to make sure that we got those beefy servers out. Let's take a look at Task Manager. More details, performance, Ethernet. We'll just wait. In the meantime, I'm going to message the engineering team. Open up Slack. Well, it's a little dangerous to open up Slack within a live stream, isn't it? Yes. So these are actually C5 extra large, not 2XL. And that means they have 4 gigs of RAM and some amount of CPU, which is explaining the latency. Or 8 gigs of RAM. There it is. Yeah. So you can see right there, 8 gigs of RAM. My favorite part of movies was always watching the director's cut, like the behind the scenes. So it's funny. It's like, you know, it's difficult to do a live stream when you're, you know, like as you build and make mistakes. But then it's also the best part because you can see what does it really take to make a test. And part of our commitment is to show you like how easy it actually is or how amazing and powerful it is, right? So it looks like have we downloaded VS Code? We have downloaded VS Code. And I would expect, since we are running this file now, that we would upload it and get some extra output here. Let's see. Cool. Let's take a look at the performance. Ethernet is there. CPU is 10. Cool. These are looking good. So again, working with limited resources here, but it still goes. This is kind of why we did downgrade. We were wondering, can we make it more affordable for everybody if we downgrade the servers? Let's see. But I wonder here why maybe we've lost connection. But since we do have VS Code, what I'm going to do next is run the commands to download the test driver extension and launch VS Code. So let's see if that works. Oh no, I've done new again. We don't want new. Okay, cool. We were able to use the recent one, which is the one that we're on now. Let's see if we continue to have these connection issues. And if we do, I'll probably stop this, roll out the fix, and then continue later today. Let's see. Or I'll just roll out the fix now. Let's just roll it out. And then we'll just continue on with the stream and finish it up because that seems like more fun to me. I also want these streams to be more of like a kind of, like I'm saying, behind the scenes and include the real stuff, right? Like why polish it? That's not what anyone wants anyway. So what I'm doing now is just logging into Heroku where our servers are. I'm going to watch the rollout, make sure it goes out. And if you're curious, behind the scenes, this is just like a single line change where we say, oh, actually, I could have done this without rolling it out because we actually support a command like this that says sandbox instance equals C5 2x large. And this is reserved for enterprise clients to be able to do different AMIs and sandboxes. I could have just done that. But hey, let's see. So we are rolling it out. And let's just double check on it. Personal. I guess I could do that as well, right? I mean, I may as well. We don't have to wait, but we may as well wait. and I'd love to show you this, but I do, again, the biggest problem with live streaming is the possibility of sharing secrets. And so the 2 monitors helps, but it would be nice to be able to, show you everything behind the scenes. If someone could do a secret scanner for live streams, that'd be awesome. Alrighty, so we will try this once again. Because we just rolled it out, there will not be new instances available, so we'll have to wait. As soon as we're done with this, we will get new ones. So let's do that. TestDriver VSCode extension. Cool. Close this out. Let's see. What else can I talk about to buy time in the meantime? So, oh yeah. So what are the steps? That's good. Kind of a good thing to go over. This will take probably about 2 minutes. So you have AI, right? And so and you also have the classic testing, right? Of like, let's look at hover text. So how do we actually do this matching? Like, we want to click on sign in. So here's an example of sign in. It's going to load the, come on. It's going to load the file, open up the browser, and then click on sign in, right? So how does sign in get matched? So what happens is first we OCR the screen. So you look at the page and say, like, does sign in appear on this? And if it does, we just click on it, right? The AI is actually not involved. If there's multiple matches for sign in, we ask the AI, which one do you want to click on? So behind the scenes, we have a model that kind of does all of this stuff, right? It's like, here's all the text, which one stands out, which one do you want to click on, what are the coordinates, let's find the coordinates for that. And the same for images. So if you go over hover image, same thing. It's like, oh, here we go. I can stop my filibuster. So, well, I'll actually have to continue my filibuster because we're going to have to wait for VSCode to download again. And I swear, then we won't have to do this anymore. So same thing for match image. Let's find the image, blah, blah, blah. Which one is it? And these commands are originally written by AI. So we use YAML because the AI is actually really good at writing English, right? So it can kind of come up with these by itself. And so you say, hey, AI, here's our spec. You can do all of these different commands. What do you want to do in order to accomplish the goal of logging in? And it's going to go, well, I want to hover over the text. I want to click on this button. I want to click remember me. And the AI generates the YAML, and then you go through and you basically run that. The AI watches it, and you go, okay, did that work? Like, and if it didn't, the AI can edit it. And if it does, you go, cool. And you commit it to your code base, and it's done. And we'll see some of that soon. But for now, let's just continue down here. I'm also going to check the comments again. Howdy, howdy. Nice. Cool. Let's see where we are with our test manager. Refresh this. Cool. So open up the looks like we're still not getting that 16 gig machine. I wonder why that is. Let's see. Let me double check. And this will probably the same thing will happen here. So let's do sandbox. We can actually demo this. I think that's it. And we can, it's kind of like -- force. Okay, let's see. double check. Oh, okay. So this one is still working even though we've abandoned it. That's cool. Did we get the test driver extension in here? No. Something is strange with this because we shouldn't. It seems faster than normal. It should take a minute. I'm going to double check and see what's going on here. Instances. Cool. No. Let's see. 2x large. Maybe it just needs to not have the new. Oh, you know what? I suspect that change hasn't gone out either, has it? Oh, no, it has. C5 2x large. I'll have to debug that. So let's see. I know this must be very exciting to watch a blank screen as I work on this. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the change has rolled out, so we should be able to just do this and get a new one. Let's see, I can watch it actually happen here. Yeah. I don't know if I can show you this, but I think I can. What I'm looking at is the AWS like instance manager. I can see all of our instances. We've got 28 running currently, and I can see that they're being spawned with the larger size, which is needed to do a bunch of these. So I thought we were ready to go over this demo, but we actually needed a PR to go out. Let's see how it's going to entertain y'all. Oh yeah, we keep talking about the different commands. So, yeah, one cool one is remember. So this allows you to actually like look at something on the page. So let's say the date, and it will send an output, and then you can use outputs as variables within other steps. So, like say you wanted to type this date, you could then essentially put an output field within the text. And so I think there's a guide to variables here. So you can do it with JavaScript too. Like for example, this is going to make a random number, and then you can exec that random number or put it into a field. Let's see. Another way to put data in, so we get asked this a lot. This is actually not the place I wanted to say, but anything within your environment, you can also import. So like for example, if you wanted to use an input here, like maybe this 1,000 number, you could actually do any $ bracket, any environment variable, and that would be rendered within the 1,000. Rendered wherever you put that. So I don't know if we have that. Oh, here, environment variables? No, these are our environment variables. I'll make a note to put that in there. Call it test data envars. Cool. Let's see. Let's see what's going these 2XL instances. Looks like we've got one ready. This one may still be starting. Let's see if we can steal that one first before that one starts. So what we do is we manage a pool, and so if the server restarts, yeah, there we go. So we got a hot one. It starts that pool up, but if you start it too soon, there's no pool. So it's kind of like a race. Now we should connect to it. Let us look at Restream. What else? So a lot of other test frameworks will kind of have you use selectors, right? So since we don't use selectors, you really want to talk about like, what does the text look like, the color, position, size, what's near it. Oh, here we go. Okay, cool. We got our VM. So now we're going to start that process of downloading and installing. Right host installation complete. Cool. So here we are again, and let's double check that, make sure we got that. Did we get, there we go. So we got our bigger machines. That should solve all of our problems. And we've got our Ethernet. So what's happening now, if you're just joining the stream, we are building a TestDriver test, which is an AI-powered test framework to test the TestDriver AI-powered test framework. So we're building a TestDriver has a VS Code extension shown here, which I'm not going to run because it'll kind of mess us up a little bit. And we want to test that extension using TestDriver as a form of dog fooding and, of course, validation of the extension. So we are running a test, and we have provisioned the machine. So we download VS Code, we download the TestDriver VSIX, the TestDriver extension, and then we launch VS Code with that extension. We have successfully downloaded and provisioned the machine with VS Code using TestDriver's exec syntax. So that reference is here. But what's happened is we're having some latency and connection issues, which is interesting. We haven't really seen these very much. And yeah, we spent about a few minutes debugging that, and now we're picking it back up. So currently, the test is running, and we are downloading and installing the extension. Sorry, we're downloading and installing VS Code onto this machine. And then ideally, we'll be able to continue to reconnect to it and reconnect to it, so we don't have to wait, which is kind of the loop you just saw. Kind of a little painful loop, but ideally, we won't have to do that again and again as we get this going. So let's see. So you can see VS Code popped open. Oh, okay, I see what's happening. So this is kind of what I was warning about, which is if the script never exits, then this never resolves. And so that's actually been where we're stuck. And so, and the timeout is, how many seconds is that? So I want to do 30 seconds to milliseconds, which is, how about 2 minutes to milliseconds. I think this is actually what we want. Okay, cool. And I think this is probably the cause of our connection issue. And we will run this. I also do not want to start VS Code. I just want to download it. But I wonder if does the installer launch it? The installer probably does launch. Okay, cool. So we got VS Code on the machine. Let's see. Run again. Now, the cool part is about this for you guys is that you don't have to do this once I figure this out. So this is kind of behind the scenes, and this will be within the examples directory. So this will show up here under test driver examples, and you'll be able to, you won't have to debug this like I am. Getting that connection latency once again. It was really surprising. I wonder if we're getting hammered with traffic or something. I've never seen this latency before. I'm logging into Datadog up here to see if we're getting like hammered with traffic or something. Let's see. I think the other thing that could be happening is the process is getting caught up here, I bet. Oh, there we go. Cool. So here we are again, our new thing. Again, download VS Code. Oh, I can actually skip that part. So let me see if I skip it. Skip the download install. Connecting again. Whoa, we've got crazy Datadog analytics now. I don't know when this started happening. Oh, cool. I think what's happening is that so this is our new beta runner, the Windows machines. And I think what's happening is our installer is like basically blocking the thread, which shouldn't happen. Anyway, this machine now has VS Code on it, and we are downloading the VSIX file, and we will run that. So this will ideally now launch VS Code. You can see that again, it's downloading the extension, and as the extension is downloaded, it will then launch VS Code with the extension, and they'll be ready to test. Yep, that worked. So here we are. And it looks like, oh, the command timed out, dang. So how long do we want to keep this for? 30 seconds probably isn't enough. Let's try 60 seconds, which is 60,000 milliseconds. And so what happened is, since that command timed out, the next command happened. So let us just try it again. The other question is that VSX exists? And I have to Google how to navigate to env temp. So I don't actually know. There we go. Okay, that'll do it. So you do run. Let's just see if we have env temp. Run temp. Cool. Low? No, it does not look like we have that file, which means we got to run this again. I'm also in the meantime going to increase the timeout of the next one so that we have more time. Let's see, we did 120 there. Just keep doing that 120. That's 2 minutes. Cool, let's bring it back. So this again will connect to this instance using the recent sandbox. Ideally, so this is kind of behind the scenes of us creating a new provisioning script. Ideally, you would just clone an existing one or just give us your VSIX file and this would all happen automatically. But what's happening is we're getting really crazy requests like, for example, can you install Firefox and our VSCode extension and make sure that one opens the other and things like that. So right now the provisioning is kind of exposed to the user. We'll probably hide it a little bit more later or make it preset. But as we, get started with this is how it's going. Let's see, what else can we talk about here? So if anyone has any questions. Alrighty, here we go. So we're connected, we're downloading the VSX file. I just feel like I should be able to open the run. I should probably update this to download it to a directory that I know where it is. Oh, there it is. So we just have to kind of watch that network request happen. Okay, it worked. So now we are installing and launching VSCode, ideally. So it should pop up here now. So VSX was downloaded. Let's check that directory again. Run. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Uh-oh. It goes. It went away. Why? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, okay. Let's see. The system cannot find the path specified. Install extension. Did it delete it? Remove item. Why would you do that? It's my fault for using AI. Okay, so you have to download the extension again. And also, I'm going to update the AI to, okay, I'm going to say, download the VSIX to desktop instead of temp. User profile desktop, test driver. Okay, download, change, cool. Keep. Let's go again. Provision. So again, we're downloading the VSIX. This time it should show up to the desktop. And essentially, once you nail this, you never have to do it again. And again, like once we nail this, we can give it to you, and you'll never have to do it at all. You'll just put your VSIX location. It'll launch VSCode, and you can start building tests. But again, I kind of want to expose the behind the scenes of what it's like to use TestDriver and provisioning and all that kind of fun stuff. So. Let's see. Can I show you? I'm trying to think of what I can show you. Do I have any fun charts to show you? TestDriver. No. Oh yeah, this connection thing, I do not understand the latency behind this. It's a big question to me. I'm gonna actually look through the code. Man, I wish I could show you the backend code base. Here we go. It is launched. And we're downloading the VSIX, and then maybe I'll should be playing, what is that game? Like Temple Run or something, like in the meantime. Don't worry, most people will consume this through clips of the best parts afterward anyway. So they'll just be like, wow, you can test VS Code? That's crazy. Okay. Downloading VSIX. We can watch that again in Task Manager. Oh, it worked. Except the system cannot find the file specified still. So why is that? Why is that? File path code, install extension. Can I go around this? Blah, 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 blah. File path code. Yeah, that's not right either. So, should I have AI do this or just look up how to start VS Code with extension on Windows? I think I should install the CLI, like, Windows CLI. Oops. So do I get code for free? Like in here? Okay. Duh. So, okay, can I just, man, using AI, using Claude to do this was probably a mistake. It's probably, oh, this is saying file. This is because we want to do it in the background. But what we can do is test and see if just code return. Yeah, return. So we don't actually need to do this. This is just me. I over-optimized the AI and is wasting some of our time here. So I should be able to just do, this is not right either. Code, install extension, VSX path, -- wait. And I think we want to make sure that this is in the right user. So what user did this go to? PC, C, users, should be a test driver user. Desktop? Yeah, okay, cool. So it's there. So what I will do is open properties and then copy. I'll just run PowerShell. So I'll say code -- install extension. And then what is it? Extension VSIX. Install extension. C users test driver desktop TestDriver.vsx. That should do it. There we go. Okay, cool. So code install extension. Wow, why is that taking so long? Oh, there it is. It just never returns. Why does it never return? Now it's not returning. Let's see if we can get it to run and install. Even if it's hanging, that's fine. What I'll say to AI is open chat. This co-install extension command hangs. What can we do to ensure it resolves? Ensure it returns. Yeah, start process and wait. Okay. Well, I hope that works. But the file path thing doesn't work. It's not a file path. It's not a it's not really a file path. It's a CLI. It's a globally installed CLI. Start process file path CMD. Yeah, this will do it. I think this is the recommended way we do this here. So what this does is it opens up command prompt and runs it instead. Cool. So that should work. And then it looks like the script successfully downloaded it, and now we are attempting to launch VS Code. Let's look at activity monitor again. Task manager. Performance. Processes. So did VS Code launch? I don't think that other one is working at all. This command is working at all. Yeah. So the system cannot find the file specified. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's just do this. We know it's downloaded, so I can actually comment this out. And then I can run this again. And again, not sure why this connecting thing is taking a while. Usually it's just really quick to just keep iterating. Oh, it could have something to do with streaming and network latency and streaming, maybe. I wonder if that has something to do with it. Because we're kind of streaming video back and forth and all that kind of stuff. So I wonder if that's causing latency. How can I debug that on my machine? Anyway. Let's see. All right. So now we should just see that thing boot up. Let's go. Let's provision this machine with, let's see it go. Task manager, come on. Where's VS Code? Let's go. The people want VS Code. What happened? Exit code 1. But why? But why? Why doesn't this work? I feel like, is there an exception here? User profile. Okay, what I can do here to figure out what's going on is to add more what's called write host, so we can figure out why this crashes. It didn't write anything out. It's a generic error. It's interesting because this, cool, just debug the heck out of this thing. Try it again. Boom. So something similar we've done is testing Chrome extensions. Actually works very similar. So if we look at like the examples directory under test driver, examples, Chrome extension. Oh, you know what? They actually disabled running it from. You need to use Chrome for testing now to do this, but yeah, you can. Basically, you can install Chrome extension the same way by using it like -- whatever. And the reason is that these both work, I think, is because VSCode is actually Electron. Electron's actually Chromium. I think that's why it works, but I'm not sure. Cool. Here we go. This will probably fail, and we'll get some information why. Ooh. VSX file found. Da, 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 da. What is the error? Okay, I'm just going to try a very, very simple. I feel like I'm going wrong with AI here. It doesn't need to be this hard. Okay, we got download. I mean, this is like a Unix command. I feel like I'm really just failing here because of AI. That should be it. So let's just do that. Right? And what does this look like? Run. Okay, cool. Let's see. Let's talk about what we want to test. So once we get this going, I think we're going to want to click on this and then run. Well, let's see. We're going to want to make a file somehow. So we're going to want to get a test file, test driver test file on the machine. And how will we do that? I think we'll probably use PowerShell again to like clone. Should we clone the test driver repo? I would add a step before this to clone the test driver repo and then open it from there, or I would download a file. I'd probably check out the repo at the current state. How would I do that? I guess we can first verify it works. Oh no, there's a button to do that in the onboarding. There's a button that will run the git clone, so we can try that. So when you install the extension, you get this. Oh, here we go. Okay, blah, blah, blah. This has to work. Come on. Come on, you got to work. Even if you don't exit, I don't care. It didn't work. Code. Code is not recognized as a commandlet function script or opera program. Okay, so that makes sense, kind of. So let's see how we can figure out what Windows PowerShell. Does Windows have which? Yes. Okay. So we need to find out where that equivalent of which in PowerShell. get command. Okay, let's just try that. So PowerShell get command code source C users test driver. Okay, so we really want to do code path C users test driver app data local program Microsoft VS Code VSCode bin code.cmd and then code path. That should work. Okay, let's try it again. I guess I'll like copy and paste that into this and see. Okay, we're making a new sandbox, seems like, so we can play with this one until. So C. Oh, since we're making a new sandbox, we will need to. This one expired, so we'll need to provision the whole thing again. So do that, and we can test this. Test driver, app data, local programs, Microsoft VS Code. There's like this, right? I forget how you do this in PowerShell. VS Code bin code.cmd. I can go back. Oh. Cool, but that's not how you execute stuff in Windows, is it? I think you need to do. Does this work like in Unix? No. Oh, it is. How about CD C users test driver app data local programs. Okay, that's going to run all the setup. We don't need to watch that while I kind of mess with this. Programs, Microsoft VS Code, bin code bin. Oh, code? Interesting. Okay, so, hey, it did install it, but that could have happened at any time. Okay, so we need to actually do this. Let's see what's going on. This is their new machine. So then this command, actually if we open up, let's see if we open up code and uninstall it, what happens? Extensions. Okay. Bin. So now we should launch it. Oh, we don't want a CD. Code. Cool. And then we should be able to do code. Install extension. C. Users. Test driver. Desktop. Test driver.esx. And that should work. And so then therefore we have a command that works. Oh, it doesn't automatically launch code. That's interesting. So then I think what we want to do is this. Does that work? Code path equals okay, obviously I don't know PowerShell. Chat. Yeah, we can do chat. Okay, so will this work to open VS Code with an extension? Command timed out. Download and install VSCode. So let's make that 24. Okay, cool. So now I want to double check because this is our new VM, right? Yeah, so it did launch it. I'm not sure if, okay, that means we can start from the VSIX step. Connecting. Okay. We should get that. There's the VSIX file. That's cool. So then next thing would be to launch VS Code with it. If that works, we can begin our test creation. Let's see, it's been an hour and a half. Start off strong, got stuck with these machines. Hey, it worked. Okay, cool. Let's see. Installed. So if I run this again, which I don't even need to, the VSIX is there, so I don't need to, I just run it. Let's see. Whoa. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Connecting. Okay, so this is just simply use this VSIX and launch VS Code, unless it fails. So let's see. I feel like this is running. Extension was installed, and then we should be able to run and code path new window. Okay, that makes sense why it was not. I'm like, where are these logs coming from? But it's actually these are actually the VS Code logs. Come on, at the final home run here. Final steps. Oh, cool. I can open Slack in a new window. I just don't know which one is the window I want. Cool. Hey, did we get it? Hey, there it is. Cool. Okay. So here we are. We have our test. And now we can start to get out to all the fun parts, which is making the test. Cool. All right. So let's commit this. Oh, but I don't want this to... I want this to return after it is hanging. Use CMD to launch this without. Yeah, cool. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna go into testing because I'm excited. Oh, also maximize it. Cool. That should do it. Cool. And now we can go make a new file and we'll call it, oh, we need to get an API key for the test. That's pretty interesting. Onboarding.yaml. I'm just gonna make a simple test just to finish the stream. That's gonna be like clicking on getting an API key and ensuring Chrome works. So we will then go into edit mode. We'll do edit test driver onboarding.yaml, onboard.yaml. And this will use that recent sandbox. We're going to want to click Get API Key and ensure that it opens up the browser. Actually, first what we're going to do is do an assertion that the test driver welcome menu shows. We're going to start doing our real test here. Let's see how we're looking at analytics. All right, here we are. Now we're in edit mode, and so anything I type now, the AI will try to complete. So I can say first, assert that the test driver getting started guide shows. So that's going to use the assert command. It will generate an assert command within this file. So we can see our onboarding YAML now has the command assert that the test driver guide text is clearly visible. Cool, confidence, cool, great, that worked. That's how easy to create a test once you got provisioned. So now we can do click on get API key. We can assert the first step is assert. The first step is get API key. Cool. It's going to run it. Cool. Let's say, how about assert a test driver? I'll say click on get API key, blue button. There's a couple other things I wanted to assert too that we missed. Like there should be some commands that says, oh, you should install the MCP server and things like that. But let's see. So there we go. This is our text matching. Click on get API key. And then we will say click open. Click on open. Boom. Oh, we're an edge. We're an edge. Oh no. Okay, we can just say start without your data. Click. How about we can say complete the edge onboarding and skip everything. Start without your data. This is an example of a multi-step flow where you give it a prompt that's kind of abstract, like complete the onboarding and just skip everything. You can see here it's doing a pretty good job at that. So confirm and continue. And then ideally here, it'll do it again and say, hey, I'm not really done. Let me continue without Google data. Cool. Yeah, it doesn't really work. So cool. Continue without Google data. Boom. Confirm and start browsing. I wonder, so this should launch our, first of all, Edge shouldn't be the default browser. That's annoying, but it should launch our test driver sign in, and then we would need a QA. We need a QA account, and then we also need to live stream it. Well, I guess I can end the stream, and then maybe once we've got this QA account set up, I can hide it from you guys so it's not streamed. And we actually support secret masking, but this is happy. This is good for me. Didn't we click confirm? I think we got there. Confirm and okay, cool. So I'll take these commands that did work. Open, success, start without your data. That worked. Hover text. Okay. Confirm and continue. Just copy these in here. Confirm and start browsing. And we can, and I would do then command assert expect the test. I can just say that, yeah, the test driver login page is visible in Edge. Cool. And so now we can run this whole thing, and let's see that it works. Create a new sandbox. And so what I would do after this, while this connects, is I would go into our docs and then go into let's guide. Running in CI. And I would talk about how to use variables. So here it is, variables. These are like output variables. But like I would basically plug in the, here's an example of what I mentioned earlier, is how to use variables. So like if you want to put a username in, you can do that and it would be available like this. So I would probably edit the provision YAML. And instead of hard coding this, I would make a GitHub artifact within the PR and then do it like this, like download URL or something. And then run this test every time against every PR to make sure that every PR worked. But for now, we're just running this basically on prod. There we go. Cool. So let's see. Follow along. Of course, we did not test the start process command here. Hopefully that works. And of course, we're waiting for it to download. 8 megs a second. See, so we've downloaded VSCode. And it's installing as well. So it'll probably pop up. Yeah, there we go. And so then we should move on to the next step. Or do I need to close this first for it to work? Yes, okay, so we need to make sure that that also closes. Did I call run by accident? And what happened? What just happened here? Calling exec. Looks like it did not work. I think the start process. Let's see. PowerShell. Oh, no. See, I think I'm going to pause for today. I mean, basically, we have to get these things to exit, but otherwise, it's working fine. So, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to patch this up, and you'll see this hit the TestDriver VSCode repo soon. It's been about almost 2 hours now. So that's it, and you'll actually be able to test your own VSCode extension with this script as well. So you can follow the same guide. Look forward to seeing you guys soon.